That was a tough one, obviously, last week. We got to find a way to. I thought we started pretty well, and then we got to find a way to keep it going. I think the second quarter, we got some guys banged up, and that caught up to us, and the avalanche started to happen. So all credit to Dallas and their game plan. We've hit the reset button, and we're getting ready to go play a better Washington team than we played 24, 25 days ago, how many days ago it's been. But it's going to be a tough challenge for us. I think Sam's playing a lot better. He's getting rid of the ball quicker. I think that he's starting to find the answers that Eric has in his offense. I told the defense it's equating to the same thing as how Bobby's improved and progressed as the Mike linebacker in our defense. I think Sam Howell's done the same at quarterback for Washington. So with that, I'll open it up to questions. Okay, thanks.
Do you have any concerns about Bobby's injury?
I mean,
He's not on the field for 100%.
yeah, anytime anybody gets banged up, I got concerns for him. But we'll see where he's at, and I think Dave's will answer all those questions about the injuries.
If you had to replace him now, what goes into that? Obviously, he's a key piece to your defense. Does Micah kind of step more into that role?
Yeah, I believe it would be Micah. We'd sit down and talk about it. Beeves is really starting to come back from the knee injury and looking well, doing nice things in practice. So I think, we'd have to wait and see what we could do roster-wise and everything else with Joe and Dave's and go from there. But, Micah's been playing well. Got a little beat up in the Dallas game, but, I think that's what we'd have to do, Jordan.
Wait, can you talk about Micah's development? Sometimes when a season's not going great, it seems like, is a guy really developing, or is he just standing out among other guys? It seems like he might actually be really developing.
No, I think you're right. I think he has developed. Credit to him, the hard work he's put in, the hard work he put in the off season. He's got more confidence, and I think Bobby has a lot to do with Micah's development as well. Eggs has done a great job with all those guys in that room, but Micah's he's done a nice job of taking the opportunity and running with it. And and if he'd be the first to tell you, he still has things he wants to work on and get better at as well, and that's one of the reasons why he's improving.
Wink, how unique is giving up 640 yards in your career?
No, it was tough. It doesn't happen very often, or you wouldn't have this job very long. So, it was a tough game. It was really a tough game. But like I said, I give Dallas credit. It was one of those games that you make a call and you feel real good about it until the ball snapped, and you're like, oh no, and it was a tough one for all of us.
Do you think your players kind of got dispirited as the game went along, given the scoreboard?
I don't know, Kim. I still think those guys fight. I think they got too much respect for the game, and like I said, we had some guys, we Kayvon and Tay, and some guys went down there at halftime, and but they all fought. And I think that's the thing that I love. One of the many things I love about them is they're fighters. They're going to fight.
Do you, if I may?
No, please.
Do you then challenge, saying with what you just said? You kind of understand why it happened, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But do you then challenge the group this week, or do you step back and take a different kind of tone with your defensive players?
No, I think that you got to stay consistent, and you do challenge. You challenge them every week, and the challenge is Washington's offense. And this league, there's no easy outs. They're gonna step on your throat if they think you're down, and and you do the same thing defensively if you're doing that to an offense. And so I think that the challenge is we have to get ready for Washington, and the players see how much they've improved as well offensively. Whether the way the quarterback's been playing, and the receivers are stepping up their game, and Logan is his security blanket in third down and red zone and things like that. So it's going to be a great challenge for us.
With Dory and Dee and Cordell all a little dinged, Do you have to adjust much what you're doing, or do you just say next man up, do the same thing?
No, I think you have to adjust. I really do. It's one of those things like, you know, in the Dallas game, when the ball's thrown down the field so far, you know, I know there's, you know, some broadcasters that think that you're in man coverage all the time, and you know, we were in 3 deep zones, we were in 2 deep, we were, you know, we tried every coverage, but when the ball's thrown that far down the field, it ends up being a one-on-one situation. And, you know, sometimes you make the play and sometimes they make the play. So that's the challenge that you have.
Did you play more zone as the game went along there? Is that
Tried
kind of
to.
what you're saying?
Tried to, Jordan. You know, but quite honestly, it's like we didn't have our fastball or curveball or a changeup, you know, because they just hit out of the park whatever we threw at them. It was just one of those games. Like I said, I give credit to Dallas.
The broadcast showed you and Dable in an extended conversation, like looked like end of second quarter, and then like Rinaldi pointed out that after halftime it was continuing.
Yeah, Dave said something to me that after the game about that, and you know, he and I talk all the time, but in those 2 situations, I talked to him about what happened, because you know, one thing about our defense, we don't give up a whole lot of big passing plays. And, you know, I credit the secondary to that in Rome, and we gave up some big plays in the passing game, which you all saw. So I told him what happened on the coverages. That was it, you know, right before half. And then coming back out, he just got done at that time talking to the trainers, and we were talking about who wasn't coming back, you know, for the 3rd quarter during that time. And it turned into whatever it turned into, but there was nothing to it.
You've played a couple games without Leo now. What have you seen from how the defensive line has kind of adjusted?
You know, I think that Nacho and Ashawn have really stepped up, and I think DJ Davison, the last 3 weeks have had some of the best practices he's had since he's been here. He's on the rise. He's on the come as well. So, you know, Ashawn is, like the last 3 weeks, has done some nice things for us. And Nacho has as well. But, you know, like Kim brought up, when you have a game like that, you know, nobody played well. Nobody, you know, we didn't coach well, we didn't play well, we didn't, whatever you want to put on it. But there's no hiding from that. Like I said, I give Dallas a lot of credit.
Wait, you haven't been in this spot a lot in your career. Is there a point at which you want to play a young guy, give more reps to young guys who aren't playing as much, to see them and evaluate them, or is it always play the best player?
I mean, that's the way it is with my philosophy. And you know, unless somebody comes to me and says they want to see this guy and play this guy, obviously, you know, that's what we'll do. But you know, you're here to win every day. You know, off season, during the season, everything else. So we're playing these games to win them and play well.
Did you lose? Do you feel like you lost more than just the football stuff with Leo, and have you been able to get that back?
No, I think we got great leaders in that room. You know, like I said, we miss Leo, we miss the guy, you know, his personality. But no, I think there's great leadership, you know, from Dre, and starting with Dre in that D-line group, and those, you know, Dex being number 1, and Nacho and Ashawn. They've done a great job as far as leading within the entire defense as well. So, you know, like I said, I missed the guy just because you missed Leo, but I don't think we lost anything leadership-wise that way.